Hello, my lovely friend. Today, I want to share something very personal and close to my heart. My journey from being a shy girl who struggled to speak in English to becoming a confident, fluent English speaker. My name is Emma Carter. I'm 21 years old, and I'm currently a college student majoring in communication studies at a university in North Carolina, United States. I live with my parents and my younger brother, Jason, in a quiet suburban neighborhood. I used to be the kind of girl who would stay silent in class, avoid group discussions, and feel nervous every time someone asked me a question in English. But things have changed now. Today, I can confidently participate in class debates, give presentations, speak with native speakers, and even help others who struggle like I did. This transformation didn't happen overnight, and that's why I want to walk you through my story, from the very beginning, to show you how I faced every emotion, every struggle, every fear, and slowly grew into the speaker I am today. Let's go back in time. I was born and raised in a small town in North Carolina. My parents, Linda and Robert Carter, are loving and supportive, but not fluent in English themselves. At home, we mostly spoke Spanish, since both my parents are originally from Mexico. So, English wasn't something I heard a lot growing up. I first came face to face with English when I started kindergarten. I still remember my first day of school. I was 5, holding my mom's hand tightly, scared and unsure. The teacher welcomed us with a bright smile and started speaking in English. I didn't understand a word. The other kids seemed excited, laughing and talking, but I sat quietly, watching everything like I was in a foreign movie without subtitles. That feeling never left me in those early years, like I was always a step behind. In elementary school, I memorized English words, but never felt confident using them. I understood the basics, could read short sentences, and even answer in writing. But speaking, that terrified me. I was so scared of making mistakes, of being laughed at, or saying something wrong. My cheeks would turn red even if someone casually asked, "How are you?" I had one friend back then, Sophia Martinez, who also spoke Spanish at home. We clung to each other like lifeboats. We never spoke English outside classwork. Our little world was safe, quiet, shy, and small. As I moved on to middle school, the pressure grew. Teachers encouraged class participation, and I knew it was important, but I couldn't bring myself to speak up. I remember once in 7th grade, the teacher called on me to explain my science project. My heart raced. I stood in front of the class with my hands shaking, my mouth dry, and my brain blank. I mumbled a few words and sat down, almost in tears. That day, I promised myself I would never speak in front of people again. But deep down, I knew that hiding wouldn't help me in the long run. High school was the turning point. I met Mrs. Amanda Gray, my English teacher in 9th grade. She changed everything. She had this warm, patient energy that made students feel seen and heard. On the first day, she said something I'll never forget. "Don't worry about mistakes. Mistakes mean you're learning. I'd rather hear your imperfect English than your perfect silence." That hit me hard. I'd spent years choosing silence. She noticed I was quiet, and after class one day, she gently asked me, "Emma, do you understand the lessons?" I nodded. She smiled and said, "Then speak. Your voice deserves to be heard." Something about her kindness stayed with me. Later that semester, we had a small group presentation. My group included Ryan Jacobs, Maya Thompson, and Leo Nguyen. I told them I wasn't good at speaking, but they encouraged me. Ryan even offered to practice with me at lunch. That was new for me, someone willing to help without judgment. We practiced, rehearsed, and I gave my part of the presentation. Was it perfect? But I spoke. For the first time, I spoke clearly in front of others, and they clapped. Not because I was amazing, but because they saw my effort. From there, I slowly started pushing myself. I joined the drama club in 10th grade, not because I wanted to act, but because I wanted to challenge my fear. My hands still shook, but I learned something important. The more you face your fear, the smaller it gets. I began to watch English shows with subtitles. Friends, The Office, and Stranger Things became my classroom. I listened to how people talked, how they used expressions, where they paused, how they laughed. I repeated lines out loud in my room like I was one of them. I also started journaling in English every night, just small things. Today I felt happy, or I don't want to go to school. But over time, my sentences grew deeper, and so did my thinking. By the time I reached my senior year, I was no longer silent. I volunteered to be a mentor for younger students learning English. I helped a freshman named Lily Park, who reminded me of myself. Shy, soft-spoken, always looking down. I shared my story with her, just like I'm sharing it with you now. And I saw something shift in her eyes. Hope. Now in college, I've come even further. I joined the speech and debate team. Yes, me. The same girl who once cried after being called to the board now debates confidently in front of a room full of people. I also started a YouTube channel called Speak with Emma, where I share tips for English learners. I make videos in both English and Spanish because I want people to know that they're not alone. If I can do it, they can too. Let me tell you a little secret. I still get nervous sometimes. Before big presentations or interviews, my palms sweat and my voice wavers. But now I remind myself, it's okay. Being nervous means you care. And fluency doesn't mean perfection, it means expression. It means connecting, sharing, and being understood. After sharing my main milestones, my journey continued to unfold in ways I never could have imagined. When I started college, I thought I'd reached the peak of my progress. I could speak, present, and even teach others. But real growth, I soon learned, happens when you step even further outside your comfort zone. One spring semester of my sophomore year, I applied for a summer study abroad program in London. Packing my bags for the first time without my family by my side, I felt nerves I hadn't felt since my first day of kindergarten. But as the plane ascended, I reminded myself, this was another chance to stretch. Landing in Heathrow, I was greeted by my host family, Mr. and Mrs. Patel and their two kids, Ria and Arjun, who were about my brother Jason's age. They spoke with British Indian accents that blended English with occasional Hindi phrases. I had to attune my ear and adjust my rhythm again, but I loved every second of it. Breakfast conversations over toast and tea taught me colloquialisms I'd never heard before. Fancy a cuppa? I'm knackered, and cheers. By the end of 2 months, I was effortlessly switching between American, Indian, and British English, barely noticing the shift. During my time in London, I also volunteered at an evening community center in East London, helping adult immigrants practice English through conversation circles. One of my learners was Ahmed, a former engineer from Syria, who had been in the UK for only 3 months. His English was broken, but his determination was immense. Watching him construct sentences from scratch reminded me of my own early struggles. I realized teaching was more than sharing knowledge. It was offering empathy, encouragement, and a safe space to make mistakes. Back at my university in North Carolina, I carried those lessons with me. I started a weekly fluency circle in the student union, open to anyone who wanted to chat in English, exchange students, local students, and fellow learners. Some nights we'd debate current events. Other nights, we'd share recipes or personal stories. I'd seen students shy at first, but within weeks they were laughing together, arguing passionately over sports, or planning weekend outings in English. Every smile of relief and every spark of confidence made me proud. By my senior year, I'd added intern to my resume, an editorial intern at a local magazine called Carolina Voices. My job was to help refine articles written by non-native contributors, business owners, artists, immigrant advocates. I'd proofread and suggested rewrites, but I also conducted interviews in English, sometimes even translating quotes back into Spanish for bilingual pieces. It felt like a full circle. I was no longer the silent observer, but a bridge between cultures and languages. As graduation approached, I reflected on how far I'd come. I'd gone from a girl who froze at, "How are you?" to someone who could interview a city council member live on camera. My parents, Linda and Robert, beamed at my cap and gown ceremony. Jason, wearing a shirt that read, "Proud brother of a bilingual badass," cheered louder than anyone else in the crowd. Today, I work as a communications specialist at a nonprofit that supports educational access for immigrant and refugee children. Every day, I write grant proposals, prepare presentations, and speak at community events. I even co-host a podcast series called Language Bridges, where I interview inspiring people who've used language learning to transform their lives, just like I did. If I look back at that shy 5-year-old Emma, who sat silent in her kindergarten classroom, I hardly recognize her. The journey wasn't a straight line. It was messy, full of detours and setbacks. There were times I wanted to give up, when my accent felt too thick, when I stumbled over a simple sentence in front of strangers, or when homesickness made me doubt everything I'd achieved. But every mistake turned into a lesson. Every moment of fear became fuel. And bit by bit, as the seasons passed, new chapters of growth kept unfolding. A year into my role at the nonprofit, I was invited to speak at an education conference in New York City. Standing beneath the dazzling lights of Times Square for the first time, I felt a familiar flutter of nerves. But this time, excitement won out. The next morning, I took the stage before hundreds of educators, advocates, and fellow language learners. I opened with my story, how a shy little girl in North Carolina learned to speak by embracing every mistake as a stepping stone. As I spoke, I watched the audience lean in, nodding their heads. I realized then that my journey was not just my own. It was a beacon for anyone who'd ever felt voiceless. After my talk, a woman came up to me with tears in her eyes. She told me she'd immigrated from Guatemala 3 years earlier and had been terrified to speak English in her job interview the day before. "Listening to you," she said, "I finally believe I can do this." In that moment, I understood something profound. Our words have the power to change lives. Back home, revitalized by that experience, I launched an online mentoring program called Emma's English Circle. Each month, a small group of learners from around the world joins me in virtual sessions. We chat about hobbies, careers, and culture. We watch short film clips and role-play real-life scenarios, ordering dinner in a restaurant, negotiating a salary, interviewing for a scholarship. I've seen students transform. A software engineer from Brazil who now leads meetings in English. A nurse from Kenya who confidently reads medical case studies aloud. A high school student in Japan who delivered a valedictorian speech entirely in English. Their successes fuel my own passion. Meanwhile, I've been working on a memoir titled Finding My Voice, weaving together personal anecdotes, practical tips, and reflections on the emotional journey of language learning. Writing it has been both cathartic and inspiring. Reliving moments of doubt and triumph reminds me how far I've come and how many more stories remain to be told. I aim to publish it next year, hoping it will reach readers who need that first spark of encouragement. Outside of work and writing, I've discovered new joys that English fluency has unlocked. I joined a local improv comedy troupe. Yes, improv, where spontaneity reigns supreme. There's no script, no safety net, just quick thinking and laughter. My first performance was terrifying. I stammered and searched for words. But in improv, mistakes become comedy gold. By learning to yes and whatever comes my way, I've become more adaptable, resilient, and fearless, both on stage and in everyday conversations. I also travel whenever I can. This spring, I visited Argentina to meet distant relatives on my dad's side and immerse myself in Spanish again. It was a beautiful reminder that language is a bridge, not a barrier, between cultures. Speaking Spanish felt like coming home, while speaking English felt like exploring a new frontier. Both languages now mingle freely in my heart. Through every twist and turn, one truth remains central. Language is more than vocabulary and grammar. It's connection, empathy, identity. The shy child who once felt trapped by her silence has become a storyteller, a guide, and a friend to many. I still feel nervous before big moments, publishing my book, hosting a webinar, stepping onto a stage. But that nervousness now feels like a reminder of what I value most: connection. So, what's next for me? I dream of launching a community center in North Carolina where learners of all ages can gather, in person, to practice English, share their stories, and build confidence. I envision classrooms filled with laughter, debates, poetry readings, and cultural celebrations. I see partnerships with schools, libraries, and local businesses to create a true language hub that welcomes everyone. And I see you, wherever you are, finding the courage to speak your truth in whatever language calls to you. If my journey teaches you anything, let it be this: every word you speak, every sentence you forge, is a step toward understanding of yourself, of others, and of the world. Embrace the stumbles, celebrate the small victories, and never let fear of imperfection keep you from sharing your voice. Even now, as I sit by my bedroom window, watching the golden Carolina sun melt into the horizon, I feel the weight of gratitude resting gently on my shoulders. My journey from a shy little girl who barely whispered hello to a woman whose voice reaches hearts across the world. It humbles me, and the truth is, it's still ongoing. Life keeps offering me opportunities to grow and learn. Just recently, I was invited to conduct a training session for new volunteers at our nonprofit. Among them was a young girl named Sofia Hernandez, a high school student whose nervous smile reminded me so much of myself. She hesitated during her self-introduction, stumbling over the word organization. I didn't interrupt. I let her finish. Then I smiled and said, "That was beautiful, Sophia," and brave. Her eyes lit up, and I knew right then. She felt seen. She felt capable. That's what this whole journey is about. Sometimes people ask me, Emma, what was the turning point? What really made the difference? And I always answer honestly, there was no single moment. It was hundreds of small decisions. Choosing to raise my hand in class, choosing to stay in the conversation even when my words weren't perfect, choosing to laugh when I made a mistake, choosing to believe that I had something valuable to say, even if I needed extra time to say it. The road from shy to fluent wasn't straight or smooth. It was filled with long pauses, skipped opportunities, and moments of deep self-doubt. But every time I moved forward, inch by inch, I gained something far greater than just language skills. I gained the ability to connect, to express, to lead, and most importantly, to empower others to do the same. And here's something else I've learned along the way. Fluency isn't just about speaking quickly or using big words. Fluency is about connection. It's about being present in a conversation, listening with your whole heart, and having the courage to respond, even when your voice trembles. True fluency is human, not perfect. Now, as I look ahead, I want to take everything I've learned and pass it forward. I've started visiting schools across the U.S., especially in areas where students speak English as a second language. I talk to them not just about grammar and pronunciation, but about believing in themselves, about how language can unlock doors they never thought they could open. I tell them that accents are beautiful, that silence doesn't mean weakness, and that their story matters, whether it's told in perfect English or broken sentences full of heart. Sometimes I get messages from people across the globe: India, Brazil, Egypt, the Philippines. They tell me they read my story and saw themselves in it, that my voice gave them courage. I don't always know what to say, but I respond with the only truth I know. You're not alone, and you're already doing better than you think. I've also started writing poetry in English. It helps me express feelings that prose can't quite capture. One of my recent poems, titled Whispers Turn Loud, was inspired by my early years in school. Whispers turn loud. I once spoke in whispers, barely a sound, afraid my voice might let me down. But time, like a patient, guiding hand, taught me to speak, to understand. Each stumble a step, each pause a seed that grew into sentences, thoughts freed. From shy to strong, from doubt to clear, my voice found wings, flew past the fear. Now I speak not just to be heard, but to offer strength in every word. For those still silent, scared, unsure, you are enough, and you'll endure. That's what I wish for every shy learner out there. Whether you're a student in a small town or someone practicing in your mirror every night, I want you to know that your voice has power. It carries your story, your identity, your dreams. Don't hide it. Nurture it. Share it. Tips and tricks. From shy to fluent English speaker with full explanation. 1. Start with self-acceptance, not perfection explanation. Most shy learners struggle not because they don't know English, but because they're afraid of making mistakes. But fluency is not about speaking perfectly. It's about being understood and confident. Accept that you will make mistakes. Emma used to be terrified of saying the wrong thing in class. But once she accepted that mistakes are a normal part of learning, she became more open to trying. Trick: keep a mistake diary. Every time you say something incorrectly, write it down. Then write the correct version beside it. Over time, you'll learn faster and fear less. 2. Create an English environment at home explanation. Emma surrounded herself with English even when no one else was around. She listened to English songs, podcasts, and TV shows. This helped her brain absorb rhythm, pronunciation, and vocabulary naturally. Trick: turn your phone, social media, and YouTube settings to English. Stick post-it notes on household items with their English names. Every time you see mirror, refrigerator, or door, your brain connects those words visually. 3. Practice speaking alone every single day explanation. Before Emma ever spoke to others, she practiced speaking to herself. It built her fluency and reduced her fear. Trick: use the mirror method. Stand in front of a mirror and speak as if you're talking to someone. Start with simple sentences like, "Hi, my name is Emma. I am a student. Today I went to the library and studied for 2 hours." Practice daily for 10 minutes. Over time, your speaking speed and clarity will improve. 4. Find a speaking partner or join a group. Explanation: Emma found a friend who was also learning English. They supported each other without fear of judgment. This safe environment helped her speak regularly. Trick: find a speaking buddy on apps like HelloTalk, Tandem, or Speaky, or join English conversation groups on Facebook, WhatsApp, or Discord. Speaking weekly with someone, even for 15 minutes, will make you fluent faster than any book. 5. Record yourself speaking explanation. Emma recorded herself reading stories or giving mini speeches. Listening back helped her notice grammar errors, unclear pronunciation, or nervous tone. Trick: pick a topic, like my weekend or my family, and record yourself speaking for 1 to 2 minutes. Play it back. Improve what you notice and try again next week. You'll clearly hear your growth. 6. Learn in context, not just vocabulary lists. Explanation: Emma realized that just memorizing vocabulary didn't help much. What helped was learning phrases and real conversations. Trick: instead of learning the word interested, learn it as part of a phrase. I'm interested in photography. She's interested in learning French. Use websites like Youglish or LingQ to hear how words are used in real conversations. 7. Talk about your real life in English explanation. Emma started talking about her own life, her school day, her family, her weekend plans. It felt more natural and emotional, so she remembered words better and didn't freeze during conversation. Trick: every night, write 5 to 6 sentences in English about your day. Then speak them aloud. This builds your thinking in English ability, which leads to real fluency. 8. Celebrate small wins explanation. Emma celebrated the first time she answered a teacher's question, the first time she ordered food in English, the first time she made someone laugh in English. These small wins gave her the confidence to keep going. Trick: make a victory jar. Each time you do something brave in English, write it on a note and put it in the jar. After 1 month, read them. You'll be amazed at how far you've come. 9. Use English in real-life tasks explanation. Emma didn't wait to be fluent before using English. She used English when booking appointments, emailing professors, ordering food, or writing blog posts. Trick: choose 2 to 3 weekly tasks and switch them to English. For example, write your to-do list in English, set Google Maps to English, watch recipe videos in English, and try cooking them. 10. Visualize yourself speaking confidently. Explanation: shyness often comes from fear of embarrassment. Emma started visualizing herself speaking clearly and confidently in classrooms or on stage. This helped her brain prepare for success. Trick: close your eyes and imagine yourself in a conversation, smiling, speaking, and being understood. Do this every night for 5 minutes. It rewires your brain to feel safe and ready to speak. 11. Imitate native speakers with shadowing explanation. Emma used a technique called shadowing. She listened to native speakers and repeated exactly what they said, copying their rhythm and tone. Trick: choose a short video or audio clip, 1 minute. Play it sentence by sentence. After each sentence, repeat it exactly as you hear it. This trains your mouth to move naturally and builds fluency. 12. Join an online English community explanation. Emma eventually started her own group, but first, she joined several online spaces where learners shared tips and encouraged one another. Trick: look for forums like Reddit's Our English Learning, YouTube comment sections, or Facebook groups. Ask questions, answer others, share your progress. Feeling connected makes the journey easier. 13. Remind yourself why you want to speak fluently. Explanation: Emma had a strong reason. She wanted to connect, share, and make a difference. This gave her motivation on hard days. Trick: write down, why do I want to speak fluent English? How will it change my life? Keep your answers somewhere visible, like your notebook, phone wallpaper, or mirror. 14. Stay consistent, not perfect explanation. Emma didn't study 10 hours a day. She studied a little every day, but she didn't stop. That's what made her fluent. Trick: set a mini routine, 10 minutes speaking, mirror or recording, 10 minutes listening, podcast video, 5 minutes writing, journal or short post. That's just 25 minutes a day, but over time, it's life-changing. 15. Believe that your voice matters. Explanation: Emma's biggest breakthrough wasn't grammar, it was self-belief. She realized her voice mattered, even if her English wasn't perfect. And so does yours. Trick: repeat affirmations daily. My English doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. I am becoming more confident every day. My voice matters. Say them out loud, because hearing your own voice is the first step to using it with others. 16. Use English as a thinking tool, not just a subject explanation. Emma didn't just study English, she began to think in English. That mindset shift made speaking smoother. When you think in your native language first, then translate, you hesitate. But when you think directly in English, your words flow naturally. Trick: start with small thoughts in English. Instead of thinking, "Mujhe pani peena hai," then translating it, train your brain to directly think, "I want to drink water." Practice by narrating your actions. I'm brushing my teeth. Now I'm making breakfast. It's time to study. Doing this every day helps you become mentally bilingual, even before you're fluent. 17th, turn English practice into a game explanation. Emma knew that if learning was boring, she would quit, so she made it fun. She turned English into a game, using quizzes, points, and goals to motivate herself. Trick, set a weekly challenge. Example, I'll learn and use 10 new idioms this week. I'll speak English for 15 minutes every day. Reward yourself if you win the challenge. Use free apps like Duolingo, WordUp, or Fluent to keep the excitement alive. 18. Use the 3 sentences rule. Explanation. Emma used to freeze in conversations. Her solution? The 3 sentences rule. She trained herself to respond to any question with at least 3 full sentences, not just one-word answers. Trick. If someone asks, "How was your day?" instead of saying, "Good," say, "It was really good. I studied for my test and also went for a walk. The weather was perfect today." This gives you more speaking time and builds fluency. Try this even when talking to yourself. 19. Repeat one topic many times. Explanation. Many learners jump from topic to topic too fast. Emma repeated the same topic multiple times in speaking, writing, and listening until it felt easy. Trick. Choose one topic per week. Example, my family. Day 1. Write 10 sentences. Day 2. Speak about it for 2 minutes. Day 3. Watch a YouTube video about families. Day 4. Learn 5 new words or idioms related to the topic. Day 5. Talk about your family with a partner. Repetition builds mastery. 20. Learn body language and facial expressions in English explanation. Emma discovered that communication is not only about words, expressions, gestures, and tone are also key. Shy learners often stay stiff, which makes them feel even more nervous. Trick. Watch how native speakers use facial expressions while speaking. Practice in front of a mirror. Smile. Nod. Use hand gestures. Speak with energy. This will make you sound more fluent and feel more confident. 21. Watch with subtitles. Then without explanation. Emma used to rely on subtitles, but she gradually removed them to challenge herself and improve her listening. Trick. Step-by-step practice. Watch with English subtitles. Watch again without subtitles. Repeat any unclear sentence aloud. Write down 3 new phrases you liked and try using them the next day. Do this with short scenes or clips. It's powerful and realistic practice. 22. Use English when your emotional explanation. Emma noticed that her speaking became stronger when she was emotional, excited, angry, happy, or passionate. That's because emotions make you forget fear and speak more naturally. Trick. When you're happy, record a video in English talking about why. When you're sad or upset, write a journal entry in English. When you're excited about something, tell a friend in English. Emotions make your language real and raw and help you grow faster. 23. Develop a second personality in English explanation. Many learners, including Emma, found it easier to speak English when they imagined themselves as a different version of themselves, a more confident version. Trick. Give your English self a name, like Confident Emma, or Fluent Me. Ask yourself, how would Fluent Me say this? This mental trick helps shy learners speak more freely because it feels like acting, not like risking their real self. 24. Use affirmations to build self-worth. Explanation. Confidence in speaking starts with self-worth. Emma wrote affirmations on sticky notes and read them every morning. Trick. Write these and say them aloud daily. Every time I speak, I improve. My message is more important than my grammar. I am brave enough to speak English today. When you train your mind to believe, your tongue will follow. 25. Study real conversations, not just textbook dialogues. Explanation. Textbook English is often too formal or robotic. Emma improved faster when she listened to real conversations, from podcasts, vlogs, interviews, and live talks. Trick. Find English YouTube vlogs or daily life videos. Search A Day in My Life USA. And pause after each sentence. Repeat it aloud. Copy the intonation and speed. This makes your English sound natural, not robotic. 26. Use the situation practice method. Explanation. Emma visualized real-life situations, like ordering coffee or introducing herself to someone new, and practiced them alone first. This gave her confidence to do it in real life. Trick. Every day, choose one situation and practice it. Ordering at a cafe. Hi, can I get a cappuccino, please? Introducing yourself. Hi, I'm Emma. I'm a college student. Asking for help. Excuse me, can you tell me where the library is? Practicing real situations prepares you for real moments. 27. Treat English as a relationship, not a task explanation. Emma said one of her biggest mindset shifts was when she stopped treating English like homework and started treating it like a friend. She gave it attention, time, patience, and love. Trick. Talk to English like it's your buddy. Hey English, I struggled today, but I won't give up. You're difficult sometimes, but I know we'll grow together. This emotional connection makes learning more meaningful. 28. Use power phrases to push through shyness explanation. When Emma felt nervous before speaking, she whispered power phrases to herself that helped her push through. Trick. Keep a list of power phrases like, let me try. It's okay if I make mistakes. Everyone starts somewhere. This is just practice, not a test. Say one quietly before any English conversation. 29. Get comfortable with silence. Explanation. Shy learners hate pauses, but silence is part of real speech. Even native speakers pause. Emma learned that pausing is not failure. It's thinking. Trick. Practice this speaking rhythm. Speak one sentence. Pause for 2 seconds. Speak next sentence. It helps your brain process ideas calmly without panic. Silence is your friend. 30. Keep a progress journal explanation. Emma kept a small notebook where she wrote what she learned each week, what she struggled with, and her proudest moments. Trick. Every Sunday, write, what did I learn this week in English? What was difficult for me? What was my small win? This helps you stay focused and grateful and measure real progress. Final words of encouragement. Dear friend, you don't need to be perfect to be powerful. You don't need to speak like a native to speak with confidence. Every word you say in English is a victory over fear. Every sentence is a sign of bravery. And every small effort brings you closer to your goal. Emma Carter didn't become fluent overnight. She became fluent because she kept going. And so can you.